close right here. We're going to learn about something super cool and tasty.
Sort of. I'm talking about, my name is Mama Fox, that is my camp name.
There's Mama Fox. Let's go watch her.
And I'm going to tell you a little bit about coffee and a little bit about some of the alternatives they used for coffee. Now, originally both coffee and tea were imported by Britain when the colonists came over. But Britain, because tea was an important drink to them, then they taxed the colonists for their tea. So the colonists took the coffee and had little secret coffee houses along the roadside. And they did not serve tea at all. And it was John Adams, who would become the second president, who discovered one of these coffee houses after he'd been traveling for 35 miles, walked in and said, Madam, can I have some tea that has honestly been smuggled in? And she said, no, we don't serve tea here. But she did suggest the coffee. He drank the coffee. He later wrote his wife and said, I've discovered a most pleasurable drink. It is coffee, and I drink it every day, and I truly believe we should ban tea altogether. This is Arbuckle's coffee. It is known as the Cowboy Coffee and the coffee that won the West. It became a popular coffee, and usually coffee was bought in beans. They would buy the green coffee, have to roast it, and then they'd have to grind it. Two brothers, Arbuckles, actually went in and they discovered by glazing the coffee beans, they could grind the coffee and it would stay fresh. But when they did sell their coffee beans, and they sell it in this coffee too, every package of Arbuckle's coffee has a peppermint stick in it. The peppermint stick was purely to ensure that they could get a volunteer to grind the coffee. So, like the chuck wagons that needed their coffee ground, they would offer up the peppermint stick, and whoever volunteered got the peppermint stick. Arbuckles also had a store. They put coupons on their coffee that was 1 cent coupons. I actually have a copy of it here. And the 1 cent coupons, because it also has this little thing, has what they could buy at the store, but for 25 coupons, and I said they are worth a penny apiece. For 25 coupons, you could get an apron. For 40 coupons, you could get a pocket knife. For 100 coupons, you could get 10 yards of material, and for 150 coupons, you could actually buy a double-barreled revolver. And the reason cowboys drank so much coffee is their source of water was ponds and rivers. And so the only way they could drink water was to boil it, and why not flavor it? So they always had coffee 24 hours. Plus it has caffeine in it, and it would keep them awake and there were some cattle drovers that had to stay awake for 60 hours. So they would drink coffee constantly. And the way they make their coffee is they would have a big, huge 5-gallon coffee pot, and they would just put the coffee in the bottom. And then when it got down, they had drank that coffee, they would just keep adding coffee grounds to it until it got too full to where they had to dump all the coffee grounds out. One of the alternatives was Dandelion. Dandelion mainly is today it's drank as a tea, but they would roast the roots to be much darker, and then they would make their coffee. A relation to the dandelion is the chicory, which is a little blue flower that even we have here, and they would use it for roots also. Both the chicory and the dandelion come from the sunflower family. And chicory actually came to us from France. The French brought it into the Louisiana port, New Orleans, and it is referred to even today as New Orleans coffee. That is the coffee that they mainly serve in New Orleans, is chicory coffee. Another alternative that didn't last very long was acorn coffee. And when they first ground the acorns and roasted it, it was so bad that they completely disbanded. This acorn coffee actually came from Britain, and they added cinnamon and cardamom to make it a more pleasant drink. They tried everything when they couldn't find coffee. So this is garbanzo beans, chickpeas, that are roasted and ground. Barley, oats, okra seeds. They So they would use any kind of grain to try and make coffee. This is my fun one, peanut coffee. Peanut coffee was first tried by George Washington Carver, the peanut man. And it was so strong, it smelled so strong with peanuts and had so much oil in it, people didn't like it. But now they've developed a way of taking the oil off the peanuts, and the coffee. The peanuts are roasted dark, and they actually say it is the closest thing to coffee. And the oil that is taken off of the peanut oil is what they send to restaurants to fry French fries. That's your peanut oil.
Yeah, but would it keep the caffeine?
There's no caffeine. This actually,
there would be.
This is peanut with caffeine. This is decaf. That you're right. This is caffeine free. The chicory, the dandelion, that's caffeine free. This is called Postum. Postum was actually developed by C.W. Post. He is the man who is responsible for Post cereal, and he presented his idea to J.W. Kellogg cereal. Kellogg was more interested in having cornflakes than developing a hot alternative beverage, so Post went on his own. It is made of roasted wheat and molasses. And the reason they did it was they wanted to have it so that children could have a hot beverage to drink. The other hot beverage, this is cacao. Cacao is a purer form of chocolate. It's where our cocoa comes from. So they would make their hot chocolate from cacao. I forgot to tell you about mushroom coffee. Mushroom coffee is often referred to as mud water because it is that dark, and it is mainly made of its main mushroom is chaga, but it's also mixed in with other mushrooms.
So all these different plants that they were using for hot beverages, a lot of them sound like they come from the United States. And then where did the cacao and the coffee come from?
Actually, the dandelion came from Britain.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was brought over as a plant food. So it started out as a plant food and became a wheat. So cacao came from Mexico.
Okay.
So they would have to get it from there.
All right.
Anything else? And actually, the dandelion and the chicory are actually really healthy foods.
Yep.
So
We have a question over here.
I think I like it.
yes. Up.
Would you like
Move.
both?
That was it.
Each other.